Okay, back again with another exciting video. This is the third time I'm actually starting this video over. Tonight, I want to talk about the dangers of working with the Intranquil spirit and not knowing what the fuck you're doing. So, the Intranquil spirit, as we know, can be called many names, or like I say before, and I always want to say this, the Intranquil spirit is not one, it's more than one. You know what they say, Intranquil espíritu, whatsoever in Spanish. But when you're working with that spirit, I definitely want to tell you guys, you gotta be careful, you gotta know what the fuck you're doing, because if you don't, you're gonna get fucked up. And you also got to be aware of the people that begin to come into your life when you're working with that particular spirit. I recently had an encounter with two clients of mine. They noticed that certain people outside of the lover that they're working on start coming into their life. Like, prime example, you're using the spirit to torment the lover, to bring them back into your life. What begins to happen is that outside people start, like people just start finding you attractive. But those people that find you attractive, you cannot allow them to get close to you. Because what begins to happen is that because those spirits that are intranquil, they gravitate to those type of people that share same likeness to them. So you may have rapists, murderers, drug addicts that come into your life when you're working on that particular lover. You know, prime example, there was a guy, this guy that came into one client's life recently. She was going out with him, the guy was up her ass, and that's one sign that you do see guys become very obsessive when they have that type of influence. So the guy that came to her, outside of the lover she's working on, basically was obsessive in nature, so she gave him a chance. The guy was over her house, spending nights over her house, you know, fucking, like, listen, the guy was up her ass, and the guy was being nice to her fairly well, taking her out, spending money on her, and the whole fucking nine. Now, what ended up happening was she starts noticing that money starts being deducted from her account. She's wondering, she didn't fucking spend money on that shit. You know, so basically, come to find out, one day she comes home, which she allowed the guy to come into his house. I don't know why she did that. One day she comes home, the guy's not there. You know what I'm saying? So, and then she gets another bill that comes up in her phone. So she looks into her bank account and she realized that her bank account was drowned. Like, basically all this money was removed from her account. You know, and basically come to find out, it was a guy that found a way to gain access to her cards and was spending money behind her back. Now the second client, which I recently had she had a recent encounter with one of these intranquil individuals that came into her life, was this dude she met. She met him out, whatever, you know what I'm saying, and she started talking to this guy, but she stopped calling, like, she stopped really talking to him, and the guy calls her up, like, he starts cursing at her, whatever, you know what I'm saying, cursing at her, what the fuck you doing? You're not picking up my fucking phone calls? And afterwards, she says to the guy, listen, if you ever fucking call my phone like that, I'm gonna fuck you up. So she gets one of her brethren, you know, one of her, you know, Jamaican boys, to call a dude up. So the dude says, listen, if you ever call her up, I'm gonna fuck you up personally. So anyway, what happens was, the guy goes back, she doesn't hear nothing from him. The guy calls her up again. The guy comes out talking about, like, you know, I'm so sorry. You know, he's like, I'm so sorry. Like, and then all of a sudden, he leaves her a couple of voice messages, apologizes, and then he snaps on a voice message, like, I'm so sorry. What the fuck you doing? You're not picking up my fucking phone. So the guy snaps and loses his mind. So when you're dealing with these type of spirits, you tend to find that the people that come into your life share an affinity with that particular spirit. So it becomes very important and very crucial for you to be careful when you're basically working with that particular entity. Because yes, your lover is going to torment your lover, but not only that, it's going to draw those type of people into your life. And not only that, for the second time, is that all the men that come into your life are going to begin to suffer as well. You know what I'm saying? Because it's almost like if they're coming to your life and they're not doing what they're supposed to do, basically the spirit's gonna torment them. Now, another thing that happened, talking about how the energy scatters and, scatters. This was from a while ago. One client of mine, she was working on a lover, a particular lover, but she also had an ex-boyfriend that was very physically abusive to her. Come to find out, while the lover was being tormented, her ex-boyfriend was being tormented as well. Basically big-time drug dealer whatsoever, and I guess he got into a wrong transaction with some dudes, and they shot him, and he was paralyzed from the waist down. So this is the thing you have to really be careful about when you're dealing with these spirits, because that same way it did to that lover, that can possibly happen to you. I had a client again recently. I told her what to do, and she didn't listen to me. I told her, listen, when you get to work, you gotta put this in the right place. But she was being, let's just say, lazy, and she didn't want to clean the place that I told her. And it not only happened to one client, this client here, it happened to another, where they was being lazy, they didn't want to clean up whatsoever. So when they got to work, they just put it anywhere. So this client, she gets a call from the doctor like 3 days later, saying that they found some cancer cells in her throat. I said to her, and that's one thing I usually follows with working with the intranquil spirits, or intranquil spirits in general, is that they can cause like life-threatening illness such as cancer. Like they can leave you in a paralyzed position or a situation. That's why in Creole we say "kofwe." See, all these things come with work with those particular spirits. So if you don't do the ritual right, everything that's supposed to happen to your lover begins to happen to you. So you may find yourself in a vicious car accident, and then basically you end up being paraplegic. Or maybe your kids, it even happens to your kids. Because I've seen it happen with another woman, you know what I'm saying, where she basically had to ship some fucked up place, and out of nowhere her daughter was driving the car, and the car comes out of nowhere, smashes the shit. I mean, I don't know how the fuck her daughter survived it whatsoever, but fucking broken bones, broken leg bones, broken collarbones, fucking shit. So it becomes something when you're doing this shit, you gotta be careful and know what the fuck you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of people out here on YouTube, they making videos and fucking talking about, oh, I can do the intranquil spirits. Well, this is not a fucking game. So I conclude this video, getting back to my fucking drink, and I'm out. Thank you guys for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.